Hey guys, how's it going? Preparing here. Today I want to talk about a subject that's very dear to me, my internet connection. Now, practically the only thing that determines my quality of life is the speed of my internet. If the speed of the internet is slow, the quality of life is very low. So I live in Canada, I'm from Toronto, Canada. It's all cool in here, quality of life in Canada in the Western world is so good. But if the internet sucks, then it's not so much, man. Not for a person as nerdy as I am. And I want to talk to you guys what exactly the internet situation is in Toronto because it is getting a little bit better. It's not getting any worse, which it was at one point. You see, we'll back up a little bit and I'll explain to you guys where we're at today and what kind of decisions that I can make with my internet. So as you know, my streaming has been ongoing for several months now, and it's been pretty good, but the quality is not as good as others because of my internet, and it's just the best I can do. Right now, I pay $210 a month for my internet. I have 3 lines, but the $210 a month is the payment for 2 of them, and basically each line has a maximum of 240 gigs. That means the bandwidth is capped. I don't have unlimited bandwidth. And the speed that I'm paying for is 25 download, 7 upload. And that's not really what I get. I get that. I get about 25.3, which means I can stream at about half that and play the game and make sure everything's working flawlessly. I stream at about like 1800 kbps, so something like that. And it's okay. Obviously, some of you guys are shocked because some of you guys are paying like $20 a month for internet that's 30 times faster. But that's what I got. That's what's available. At the time when I got my internet, I got it from Bell. Bell offers DSL service. DSL means it goes through a phone line. And I got it because the alternative, which is Rogers, which is what that ad is over there, I guess. It's like kind of misleading. But they had the higher upload. Rogers was capping out at 2 gigs upload, which is not really good enough to stream. And Bell had the 7 package, which was giving me like 3, which is like barely enough to stream. But because of the bandwidth, if you do the math, if you stream even at like 1.8 for as much as I do, you eat up about 300 gigs a month. And if you buy one plan, which caps out at about 240, which in effect, let me see if I can show you here. I think now it's like I think it's 250. It's the middle plan there, which got upgraded to 2510. It's the 125 plus an additional payment of like, I think it's like $5 per 15 gigs or something. So I don't know. I think it's $5 per 25 gigs actually. Something like that. I think it's plus $25. So basically, I'm paying for 2 of those lines, which are 25 and 7, but I recently got changed to 25 and 10. And but it doesn't make a difference. And I'm also paying for additional bandwidth, so I can get a total bandwidth across 2 lines of a little bit over 400 gigs, which is how much I use every month. If I go over, they charge me something absurd like $2 per gig, or like anything is absurd. We live in 21st century. Internet should be fucking, decent everywhere. None of this ridiculous stuff. But you can also see some of the plans have been getting better. This internet 5, 50, 50, 175, 175. Oh my god. It's like, yes, it costs a lot, but look at it. It's 300 max usage. You can't get much more than that. You can only increase the max usage by 125. So 425 is about how much I would use if I was streaming at 3. So if I got that plan, which I'll tell you why I can't, but if I got it, it doesn't really make any difference because I still couldn't stream at a better quality than I'm streaming right now because it would ridiculously cut into that bandwidth instantly. Like at 175, you can run through that bandwidth in like an hour. Probably even less than that actually. So these plans are insane. They're pretty much built to take more money. I mean, it's a business, you get it, but it's kind of a monopoly. And let me show you what the alternative is here. Oh, by the way, the last 2 plans are only for like newly built buildings. I have an option to live at two different places, and neither place, and actually no one that I even know can get either of these last two plans. So, yeah, not really for me. Maybe for some of you lucky ones, but gotta watch out for that. We got the Rogers, and the Rogers, it has the the big one here, 250, 250, 500. This is actually a pretty solid plan. It doesn't say how much it costs, but I mean, that's a solid plan. That is a solid plan. 500 is definitely more than like 400, but it's still the same problem. Like you're gonna cut into that max bandwidth instantly, and you're gonna pay those ridiculous overage charges. If you think $200 is a lot for internet, I bet people that buy this plan have paid like thousands just because of their ridiculous like rate at which they download stuff. If you fire up some torrents with something like this, holy cow, that bandwidth is gone. So you gotta be really careful, and it really defeats the purpose of the speed completely, actually. And the best one that I can get is Rogers Ultimate, which is pretty good. It is an option, because I am paying $210 a month right now for pretty much exactly this, but because this is cable internet, it's not DSL internet, I'd actually get 10 Mbps. So this would be faster, but because of the bandwidth limitation, again, the stream quality won't be that much better. It'll be a little bit better. Maybe I can raise another like 100 kbps, but not a lot better. And I will be paying approximately another $80 a month. Yeah, sounds good, right? The rest is trash. This is trash. Extreme Plus. These are like not very extreme, but this is way better than it was like 6 months ago. 6 months ago, the Ultimate Plus was 2 upload and like 150 gigs total, I think. That was the Ultimate Plus 6 months ago. Unbelievable. So let's go back to this current plan in the belting. So when I got my connections, I actually didn't care for 3 internet connections. I have an internet connection that my family uses, and I only use that as a backup. That's a cable line. It's very weak. I can't really stream on that. But the 2 that I pay for, the ones that I pretty much only use nowadays, I didn't actually want 2 lines. I wanted 1. And when I called them up, I tried to negotiate. It's like, just give me a line. I'll pay for 2 lines, and all you have to do is give me 1 modem, and I'll pay for 2 lines. Can that work? No. I offered to pay more extra bandwidth, because like I said, if you pay for the bandwidth, if you get like the 125 bandwidth usage per month, you can pay for an additional 125. So I'm like, okay, I'll keep paying for more 125s. I'll pay for it. Here's my money, right? Here's money. Take it. No, they didn't want it. So I got 2 lines. Now, these are really the main internet providers in Toronto. You got Bell for DSL service, and you got Rogers for cable service. But there are there's a lot of resellers. What these resellers do is they get internet in bulk from these companies, and they resell it to the public. But they usually have fewer plans, and they're usually the lower grade plans. But seeing as I already only qualify for a lower grade plan, then let's have a look. So this is an internet company called TechSavvy. TechSavvy actually has a really good service. You can see the plan here. This is the 2510 plan that I currently have through Bell, because it's the exact same plan, except instead of having a monthly bandwidth limitation, you can choose to get unlimited for $78. But with TechSavvy, you actually have to rent the modem, so you have to pay an additional like $5 to $20 if you want dry loop, which I do, because dry loop gives you a little bit of a cleaner line. It's a little bit better. And I don't have phone lines in the house anyway. But, this is a really good option now. But let me tell you guys, when I got my internet, why I didn't choose TechSavvy. I didn't choose TechSavvy because the modems that TechSavvy had were the old ones from Bell that were defective. So they were called the cell pipes modems. The cell pipe modems, at least some of them, they had an issue where they would reboot, where they sometimes didn't need to be plugged into the internet. They would just reboot, just plugged into the wall outlet, okay? So obviously, because I knew I was going to play a hardcore Diablo, I knew I was going to stream, I don't want my modem rebooting on me 5 times a day for no reason, right? So obviously, this tech-savvy stuff wasn't an option, and the thing was, it wasn't really their fault. When Bell gave them the contract, they pretty much gave them selective use of specifically those modems, which Bell knew that they didn't work, because Bell wasn't using them. Bell was using the newer ones, which did work. But you couldn't use any other modem through TechSavvy because they didn't offer any other modem. You can't just go to the store and buy a modem and hook yourself up to this internet. I think you could with one or two, but you have to configure them and all that stuff. And I don't have the know-how in that internet stuff. I don't really had the time at the time because we were setting up for Diablo 3 and just didn't make it happen. So I made it happen with the DSL from Bell, and it was all right. But nowadays, the tech-savvy guys do have the good modem, and oh man, it's getting a little bit better. There are some issues that I've heard with tech-savvy because when you want to get some internet, because it's so important, because it's such a quality of life thing, you got to do all the research, you got to read all the feedback, you got to see all the issues, every single detail, and there are some details that are not so good with tech-savvy, but they're definitely a little bit better than the other companies. In the past, these internet companies from Toronto, Rogers and Bell, they were limiting upload, and they would restrict your connection. I don't remember what the term was called for it, but what they would do is if you're playing Blizzard games, like online games that were peer-to-peer, they would throttle your connection to where you would disconnect repeatedly. So, like 2 years ago, I was with Rogers, and 2 years ago, approximately, is when they implemented this. They implemented a feature that if you were doing anything peer-to-peer, your bandwidth would be limited to practically zero. And because World of Warcraft and StarCraft, and I think any Blizzard game for that matter, was considered peer-to-peer, you would essentially disconnect every time that feature came into place, which was pretty much every single time. So 2 years ago, when Cataclysm came out, was approximately the time I was practically unable to play World of Warcraft until I got a new internet provider. How about that shit, man? Wow. Back to that ad. Let me bring it up here. Got speed envy. I truly do.